It's the morning and my son is coming for lunch. He wants comfort food. I want to send him home with plenty of food to keep him going this week. So I'm making a shepherd's pie. I'm going to try and keep this as quick and simple as possible. You don't need to watch cooking processes. Just a tip that I have, I've got some the minced lamb. I've had this uncovered in the fridge overnight. It helps dry the lamb out, which means you get a lovely crust on it when you cook. I'm going to start by cooking the onions, which I have chopped. I'm going to cook the onions. Heating some olive oil. Whoops. Onions are going to go in. I'm going to cook those for sort of 5 to 7 minutes till they go soft, get a bit of colour on them. Other ingredients are swede and carrot. I used 1 carrot and half a swede. I'm using 750 grams of mince, the minced lamb, because I want to have plenty for him to take home. You can change the amount of vegetables you use if you want more veg and less meat. Feel free. Other ingredients you're going to need are tomato puree, cinnamon, some stock, any stock you like. I've got chicken stock in the fridge. Obviously lamb stock would give it a lambier flavour, but I've got chicken stock in the fridge, so that's what I'm using. I've chopped up some parsley. I would say it was about a tablespoon of parsley and a tablespoon of thyme. That's it for now. They've been cooking for about 6 minutes. They're nice and soft, getting a tiny bit of colour on. Add in the veg. Toss to coat. And I'm going to give them another 5 to 10 minutes until they start to soften. Once these are cooked, I'm going to remove them to here and we will start browning the meat. I've taken the vegetables out and I've put them in a bowl. I'm going to salt the lamb and I'm going to turn the heat up because I want to get a nice browny crust on it. And I'm going to brown it. You might need to brown it in batches. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, because if you overcrowd the pan, you're not going to get a nice bit of caramelisation, crusty brownness. So I will keep going till I've browned all the meat. I'll transfer that to there because it'll all go together in a minute. Do not rush your browning. I can't emphasise it enough. I have a friend in America who shall remain nameless, but you know who you are, who, when he showed me how he made his chilli, he had a sort of a pan that wasn't very hot, and he put all of the beef mince in, and it kind of stewed, as opposed to getting this lovely brown on the meat. I can smell it. It's all about building flavour, so you just have to be patient. This is actually my 3rd batch of browning it. Don't rush it. I'm using my spatula to break it up so that I don't have any big lumps. All my meat is browned. I'm returning everything. Oh God, I hope the pan's big enough. I'm returning everything to the pan. I'm lowering the heat. Stir it through. I'm going to use both just to give it a quick zhuzh. I'm going to put in, I don't know, about a tablespoon of tomato puree. I'm going to sprinkle in all of the herbs. A spoonful of, I suppose that might be, well, I really love the taste of cinnamon, so that's about a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to give it some more salt. And pepper. Give it another toss. So everything gets everything. I forgot to say at the beginning, another ingredient that you'll need is some flour. My bad. That's about a tablespoon. I'm going to sprinkle it all over the top. A bit more. Lovely. Give that all a stir again, and then you'll very gradually, this will help soak up the juices, plus thicken the sauce. So that's all gone in. And then gradually add your chicken stock. I've got about 400 ml. I always have a bit extra in case it needs it. And gradually incorporate it. Once all of the stock is in, you can lower the heat, put the lid on it on the lowest possible heat, and let it cook for about 35 minutes. Sorry, I should have said bring it up to the boil, then reduce the heat right down to the lowest setting and let it simmer with the lid on for 35 minutes. Mine is bubbling away nicely. Boom. Okay, the topping, you're going to need potatoes, cheese, panko breadcrumbs, and a little bit of leek. I'm going to, while the sauce is cooking, I'm going to make some mashed potato, and I am only going to mash it with butter. I'm not going to add milk. I have also the white parts of just one leek. I thinly sliced, and I've just sweated them down for about 3 or 4 minutes in butter. These are going to go on top of the potatoes for a lovely, delicious oniony topping. I have put the contents in my baking tray, baking dish, roasting tin. Put the mash on the top. I'm just making a texture on the mash. I've got my, oh God, it's not a good day. Complete terrible brain. These are the leeks that I just cooked in butter for a few minutes. I'm going to sprinkle those on top. When you put your sauce in the tin, just check it for seasoning. You know, add salt and pepper if it needs it. Mine was spot on, obviously. In here, I have mixed up, it's about 50 grams of cheese, and I would say it was about 4 tablespoons of panko breadcrumbs. And I'm just going to mix them together, and I'm simply going to scatter that over the top. This will go in the oven at 180 degrees for 25 minutes, or until it's nice and brown and bubbling on top. The nice thing with this is you can make it in advance and put it in the oven later, or you can pre-cook it and just help yourself to portions and reheat them. I think that's plenty. Shepherd's pie for a gang, for a lot of people, or for your son with leftovers. And here is the finished shepherd's pie. I can't wait to dig in.